Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Oh boy. Let's tap right in and see what Spirit has for us this afternoon. This evening, I should say. Oh, thanks for being here, everybody. Spirit, what is it you would like the collective to know at this time? Please and thank you. We've got the King of Pentacles in the upright, the Page of Cups in the upright, and the Five of Cups in the upright. So it's like we have a leader, a wealthy business person who is dreaming about new love. But they're suffering a heartbreak. Like maybe they've gone through a divorce. In the in the challenge position, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So they're challenged because they're disappointed by somebody who is untrustworthy, unreliable, and unpredictable. In the subconscious, we've got the Two of Pentacles in the upright. So there is making decisions, having to juggle multiple priorities. If there's been a divorce, then there are some things that need to be settled. This person could have an overactive imagination. Right now. In the recent past, we've got the Five of Swords. So there's competition, arguments, conflict, intention, and expectation. Wow. We got the World, so a completion of a cycle in the upright and a karmic cycle. So this is a completion. This is a new karmic cycle. We've got the Star here, healing and rejuvenation and painful endings for somebody. Somebody was bringing conflict, but this is the completion of a cycle. It's the beginning of a new karmic cycle. Somebody's getting healing and rejuvenation, and somebody's getting 10 swords in their back, or somebody's collapsing in the near future. Hey there, little buddy. In the near future, dang, Five of Wands, more conflict. More competition. The lens that's being looked through. Somebody is having fear and anxiety regarding a wish come true. In the environment, We have resting, relaxing, renewal, planning for the future, hopes and fears, King of Wands and Ace of Pentacles in the upright. So the hope is to overcome these challenges, to be a visionary leader with an abundant financial opportunity. And the outcome is the Empress. This King of Pentacles is getting divorced and wanting to get together with this Empress. Page of Wands in the upright. So there is freedom. Head over heart. Honest, truthful. Ace of Cups, proposal. And a Ten of Pentacles, stability. So we've got a King of Pentacles here. He's confident and successful. He's listening to his heart. And expressing his feelings. He has new love on the mind. And there's a loss here. There's like a divorce, some sort of a heartbreak. High honor. Challenged by disappointment, jealousy. Whoever he was committed to is unpredictable and unreliable, untrustworthy. And this main male is bringing an end to that. He's sad. He's in sorrow over it. His partner was unfaithful. So now he's having to make difficult decisions. Weighing his options. About a privileged lady. It sounds to me like he got wrapped up with a karmic. And he's disappointed. He found out she was untrustworthy. Giving him cause for jealousy. He wants a high honor, privileged lady in his life. In the recent past, there's been conflict. False people bringing conflict. This is the completion of a cycle. It is the beginning of a new karmic life cycle. Everybody's flowing right into their destiny, and they're either going to get healing and rejuvenation, or they're going to get a painful ending that's going to be betrayal, defeat, and collapse. And they're thinking about this privileged lady, this star. Somebody's got this person that's in a Ten of Swords is thinking about this star, this false person. They were bringing conflict to this star, and they wound up getting 10 freaking swords in the back. And they're bringing more conflict here in the future. That's all they know. They're getting a message of concern. All they know is conflict, petty ego clashing. They're in fear and anxiety over this wish come true. A wealthy man. This King of Pentacles. Somebody's in fear and anxiety over a wish come true for a wealthy man. A community is planning for the future. King of Wands overcomes his challenges, enters a financial opportunity. Oh, and we got poverty here. Huh. We got the Empress on the outgoing energy. And bad health. Somebody's in bad health. We'll be clarifying these. We got a mature man here. There could be a mature man who's in bad health. Getting all up in this Empress's space. So there's a King of Pentacles here. Looking for new love. He wants a high honor new love. He's going through a divorce. He's challenged by this main male bringing an ending to something. There's jealousy, untrustworthy. Somebody's untrustworthy. They're unpredictable. They're unreliable. Oh. So we got looking at the lighter side of things. But then we've got death here. There's a 5 of Cups, a personal setback, a death. There's a King of Pentacles who could be high honor, looking on the lighter side of things, dreaming about a new love. But there's a 5 of Cups and the Death card. Like his life is, as he knew it, is like ending. It failed. Whatever he had going on failed. He's challenged by this main male. He's challenged because his relationship, whatever he had going on, it was untrustworthy. And it's over. We got the coffin here. We got death there and coffin here. Whoever this King of Pentacles is challenged by this main male. And because whatever he had going on failed. Failed. Death, coffin, failure. They didn't succeed. They were not successful. They're thinking about this privileged lady. Oh, they failed. They failed to get something going with this privileged lady. They were juggling multiple priorities, and They failed to get in touch or to get on this karmic cycle with this privileged lady. They brought conflict to her. They didn't want to love on her. They were bringing conflict to her, this false person. All right, what do we got here? Wow. Well, we're just gonna... We got freedom. They were bringing abusive relationships, these false people, abusive relationships, whatever kind of conflict they could bring at you. You gained your freedom. This is the completion of this cycle, and it's a karmic cycle. This is the year of karma. Some people are going to be going into healing and rejuvenation, a spiritual fortune, and some people are getting 10 swords in the back, a painful ending and a defeat. This person is trying to ping this star in the mental body. They're laying there with 10 swords in their back, and they're calling out to this star for help. They're envious of this star. And yet they're still trying to ping her in the mental body because they want to dump their painful ending onto her. They're envious of her position. They want to bring adversity to her. That's all they've ever wanted to do. And conflict is here in the future with a message of concern, adversity. They're under judgment. A clashing of petty egos. They're getting a message of concern. They're under judgment. They're in fear and anxiety about this wish come true for this wealthy man. They're not getting forgiveness. There is rest and renewal, planning for the future regarding this community. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. We've got a King of Wands here, a visionary who's overcome challenges, getting a new career or a financial opportunity, but then we've got poverty here too. Service. I feel good when I can help others. That poverty card is weird. We got the Empress here. There's a mature man in bad health. And the Empress is here. With gifts that benefit herself and others. It's like there's a mature man who wants to benefit off the gifts that this Empress has to offer. He wants to receive a healing. She's a star. He wants her to heal him. There's a high honor King of Pentacles here. Looking at the lighter side of things, thinking about new love. His marriage is over. It's in the toilet. It's death. Sorrow, loss, 5 of Cups, personal setback, moving on, bereavement. Player. He was married to a player. Main male. There was jealousy, disappointment, untrustworthiness. Main male has put this wedding into the coffin. It was unsuccessful. He's changing, or there was a chicken, or like this relationship. Maybe he sees his partner as somebody who isn't brave. Somebody who he can't be successful with. He's a King of Pentacles. So he's getting rid of somebody who's not faithful. Somebody who he can't build with. He doesn't see strength here. He sees infidelity and jealousy and just a bunch of crap that's unpredictable. He's got this privileged lady in his mind. He wants to negotiate some sort of a decision here. There's failure. He failed to get with the privileged lady. He thought he was with the privileged lady, but he got himself with the Karmic. And now he's got to weigh his options because he failed to make the right decision. This privileged lady is optimistic. It could be that he fails to get with this privileged lady. You got this false person here in the recent past bringing a 5 of Swords, bringing conflict to this privileged lady who gained her freedom. She's family line going to be remembered. This false person has a bunch of addictions. They're a bunch of bullies bringing conflict to this privileged lady. This is the completion of a cycle. This is the beginning of a new karmic life cycle. This is karma, the year of karma. The star is here for healing and rejuvenation, and some people are envious, trying to ping this star in the mental body. They're receiving painful endings. They're getting disconnected. They're getting disconnected from this star. They're envious of this star. They're under judgment. They're still here, bringing a 5 of Wands. 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands. They're getting a message of concern. They're under judgment. Yeah, the messenger, it's an invisible messenger. But they got the message. They're under judgment for bringing this petty clash, this petty competition. They're not getting forgiveness. They're in fear and anxiety over the wish come true for this wealthy man. They're facing hardship. This community wants to rest and relax and plan for the future. They're accepting responsibility for their own well-being. As is. They're doing the work, the inner work. We got this King of Wands here who's overcome challenges, entering into a financial opportunity. Feels good when he can help others, but there's poverty here. The hope and fear, like is he afraid he's going to fall into poverty? We've got perception. There's a limited perception here. Is he in poverty? He might be experiencing poverty right now, and he might be looking to come into a new financial opportunity after overcoming these challenges of poverty. We've got the Empress here who has gifts of the soul that benefit themselves and others. There's a mature man here who's in bad health, wanting to be healed. Justice is being served. A promise is being made. There was, you were able to defend yourself against the conflict that this witch brought to you. Damage. Indecision. Damage. This King of Pentacles, this High Honor King of Pentacles, married a Karmic player. And now they're hurting, now they're in damage, and now they're targeting a privileged lady because their first choice wasn't right. And so now they're like, now they're wanting seconds. Now they're wanting to say, hey, privileged lady, I know I screwed up the first time, but do you mind? Can I choose you now, even though I didn't want you the first go around? Huh? I know I didn't choose you the first time. You were over there loving on yourself, and I wanted something else. I wanted something of flashy. You know, some player go out there and look flashy. He got what he wanted, and it wound up in death and a whole bunch of damage. He got what he wanted. He got his flash. He got his flash, and now he's confused because he neglected the privileged lady. He neglected this optimistic, privileged lady. He failed to choose her. He chose instead a Karmic. And now he's got this privileged lady in his mind. He's like, oh, well, I guess she was the one. I'm confused. And it's like, she may not want you now. Nobody likes being second choice, especially when you aren't very good at making choices. Destiny. This privileged lady who's optimistic is coming into her destiny. And this King of Pentacles wants to go get a ride. He's like, oh, you're the privileged lady. It's like, no, sorry, you couldn't recognize it the first go around. I'm sorry. You're just going to have soul tie. There's addictions. They brought conflict. These false people brought conflict and abuse to their soul tie. Who was fortunate enough, this privileged lady was fortunate enough to gain her freedom from these false people. This is a completion of a cycle. Freedom has been obtained. It's a celebration of life. She survived. Coming into a karmic cycle, karma is being generated and paid by everybody. The star is getting rejuvenation and healing. And these ones who were messing with her mind are getting disconnected. They're envious. They're having painful endings now. Everything for them is collapsing. They're overwhelmed because they know that this privileged lady is irreplaceable. But they didn't choose her. They chose a karmic. They didn't choose the empress. They chose a karmic. They didn't choose the privileged lady. They chose a karmic. An unfaithful trollop who was flashy, who looked the part. And he got what he wanted. He got unfaithful, untrustworthy bullshit. He got played. It was what he wanted. I'm always longing for you. No, you're not. No, you're not, man. You were daydreaming about looking fancy, looking the part, looking like you had it all together and you were the perfect player, you and your little trollop here. And it was great fun for a while, but now it's all over. You failed to pick the actual privileged lady. You didn't want the actual privileged lady. You wanted to fight with her. You and your trollop brought fighting to her. You tried to take her out because you were envious. You wanted to take her out and give her vitality, her energy to your karmic, and it didn't work out that way. You're still bringing competition and rivalry to her, conflict to her. There's no forgiveness. There's fear and anxiety and hardship. There's a wish come true here. It could be that this wealthy man is found unworthy of partaking in this wish come true. This King of Pentacles. He didn't want the privileged lady. He didn't want the empress. He wanted a karmic. And now that everything failed, now that they couldn't take the privileged lady out, the privileged lady gained her freedom. She's been seen as irreplaceable. This is a completion of a cycle, and everybody's receiving their karma. And they're like, oh no, man, she's irreplaceable. And now they're overwhelmed because they didn't want her. They didn't want her. They wanted, you know what they wanted for her? That's what they wanted to give her. They didn't want her. And you know what they're bringing her now in the near future? They're still bringing this to her. They don't want her. They want her vitality. They want her star qualities. They wanted to give all that to their karmic. Unappreciated. They did not appreciate the privileged lady empress. They didn't want her. This community, this could be a retreat, a recovery, a recuperation. It could be solitude. They're accepting responsibility for their own well-being, being as is. Being apart from somebody has allowed them to gain clarity. They need more space to think. Commitment. King of Wands wants a commitment, a new financial opportunity. He's in poverty right now, but he has a limited perception. He wants to be of service to people. He's facing poverty. He needs to gain a commitment with the Empress. The Empress, she didn't sabotage herself, and her values are not about money. She's got gifts of the soul that benefit herself and others. Justice is being served on her behalf. There's a mature man here who's in bad health. And the shadow side. Guilty. So there's the King of Pentacles here who chose a karmic. He liked the flash. He liked the look of that player. He didn't want no privileged lady. He wanted a trollop. An untrustworthy, unpredictable trollop. That's what he wanted. And now he's in a 5 of Cups, trying to forgive himself for throwing away and trying to unalive this privileged lady so that he could give the vitality of this privileged lady's star to this karmic. What a lowlife. High honor is here. He's not high honor. He may have been at one point, but he caused so much damage. He's not getting a reunion with the privileged lady. He's going to have to live and learn. He's protesting that he has been stopped and separated. He's been stopped. He can't bring any more conflict to this privileged lady. He was unsuccessful. He neglected her. He's confused. He's stressed out. The main male is here with a coffin. And this person's a chicken. He doesn't have any courage about this change that is coming into effect. The main male may have put this in a coffin. He's like, yeah, you picked a karmic. But the main male is like, yeah, and this is over because you don't get the privileged lady. You didn't choose her. And the main male is here like putting an end to this. He's like, this is in a coffin. You get that privileged lady right out of your mind. Justice is being served. This one failed to honor a soul tie with this privileged lady. He tried to take this privileged lady out, and he chose a karmic feminine, and he tried to take the vitality of this privileged lady and give it to that person. But this karmic may have actually experienced a death, because the death card is here, and there's sorrow and loss. This man may have lost his wife to an actual death. My condolences, but she may have actually suffered an out-of-body experience. Coming after this privileged lady. This King of Pentacles went up against the main male who chose the privileged lady. So this King of Pentacles is a false person. He bribed people to bring conflict against his soul tie, his privileged lady, while he was out whoring around with this karmic. The privileged lady gained her freedom. She's got a completion of a cycle. This is the karmic year. This person is all stressed out because this privileged lady is irreplaceable. And he didn't choose her. He didn't want her. She's a star. He wanted the qualities of the star. He wanted the healing and the rejuvenation, and he thought if he could take her out, that they would be able to absorb these healing qualities, and he could just give that to his karmic, and then he could pretend that she was a privileged lady. It's people like this who make privileged ladies want to stay single. They don't want to have anything to do with these scumbags. Oh, but it looks like this privileged lady might be ready for marriage. She might be ready for a new contract. And that has this King of Pentacles all stressed out because he knows that she's irreplaceable. He didn't want her. He wanted to take her out and absorb her qualities. He didn't want her. He wanted the energy, the essence, the vitality, the gifts that come with a privileged empress lady. He didn't want the privileged empress. He wanted what she had. What a scumbag. I hope he chokes on his wealth. He's going to be experiencing a loss. He's disconnected. He was envious. And he's experiencing a painful ending because of what he was doing to her. Bribing other people to do to her. From an invisible place. Competition, debates, rivalry, conflict, clashing, petty ego. They're under judgment. They were just daydreaming. They were just daydreaming. And they're frustrated. They feel like they're going to have to survive. They had a great idea to win, right? To get to the top of that hill. And that was to destroy this privileged lady, his soultie. His great idea to gain adventure was to destroy his privileged lady empress. That person, all on his own, has destroyed the reputation of the masculine. Now they're wanting to apologize, but they're not getting forgiveness. They're in fear and anxiety. They know that they're facing hardship. This wealthy man, this King of Pentacles, he knows that he's unworthy. And he's upset because this privileged lady's getting a wish come true. She's actually ready for a new contract. This community may have they may have been trying to pretend to be her. A whole community of people may have been trying to pretend to be her, taking responsibility for their well-being, but they were blaming her, using her identity to get what it was they wanted. But they were only a reflection of her. She was all segregated, all there in her own little space, trying to heal from this conflict that they've been putting on her. While they were wearing masks, pretending to be her, doing crazy things to ruin her reputation. They're furious and in fright now. Because she's coming into her family. Because somebody cares about her. Somebody actually cares about her. Unlike that soultie. Who only cared about wealth. He only cared about the status, the high honor status, and the wealth. He only cared about the high honor status and the wealth. And that came with the privileged lady empress. But he didn't like the privileged lady empress. He didn't want her. He wanted this karmic. And he made a vow. He made a commitment. And